Hi there! So I just wanted to do a quick video for each of the signs about what Uranus square Pluto has meant for you individually, and uh, it's kind of a retrospective view considering it's now dissipating and reaching the 8-degree orb almost. It's in 7 degrees of uh, 7 degrees apart right now, and they're both retrograde. So, I mean, they're probably going to be in 7 degrees apart for a while, but as it dissipates, I just wanted to look at these lessons that we've learned throughout these few years that they have been square. And I also wanted to touch upon Saturn and Scorpio and what it's going to be looking like when it moves into Sagittarius and the lessons we're cleaning up or finishing up here at the end of Saturn and Scorpio. So I hope you enjoy. Hi, Aries and Aries rising people. Uranus square Pluto has basically been in the houses that the signs that they're in are ruling. And in fact, I think that's really awesome because there is something about Aries that's really very direct. So all the energies that are going on, you can feel them directly according to the exact houses that are the rulership, which I think is really quite interesting to think about. And maybe this is why you tend to want to be first, or that there's a very big focus on Aries being the house of self, being very focused on themselves perhaps, but it's because you're feeling the energies that are occurring collectively very directly. So there is kind of that focus on you. So just wanted to talk about that for a second. Uranus has been in your first house in your sign. So Uranus has been making you have really big awakenings about who you are and really getting in touch with higher aspects of yourself, as well as maybe acting a bit out of the ordinary or a bit eccentric even. And the realization factor is super duper high for you at this time. And you're really acting as a catalyst for others because as soon as others come across you, the way that you are being right now is actually waking them up to who they are as well. So Uranus in the first house really does help. It's kind of creating projections onto you in some ways of their own things that they need to awaken to. So there may have been some amount of disruptions even that have occurred just by you being there, being around people. Like you've been sort of a disruptor for people, but you're helping to awaken them to who they are. And that's what you've also been doing for yourself, is awakening to who you are. And so there's just been a lot of opening up, of channeling, even opening up to new information, opening up to technology, maybe even learning through technology or through esoteric sciences or through astrology or tarot, or any of those mediums may have been something that has been helping you in your process of awakening. And then Pluto is in your 10th house. So these awakenings have probably been somewhat disruptive to your career and where your integrity lies within that. Like, what are your true feelings about what you are aspiring to? Like, and why are you aspiring to these things? Whether there's a materialistic kind of reason, even, you might have become more aware of where you are really trying too hard for the wrong reasons. And so Uranus and Pluto have been really causing this tension there in whether you want to, like really coming into more awareness about why you want to do the things that you want to do, like whether it's for status or becoming your own authority. And in fact, I think that Aries does better when they become their own authorities. So it's about becoming basically more in tune with a deeper part of yourself and not just doing things because you want to look good. It's about doing things because it's what you want to do. And that's what you're coming into the awareness of. And there's been kind of a tension there of needing to become deeper within yourself about those things and finding deeper reasons to follow the dreams that you're following, or the aspirations, the goals, the careers, and what you're doing to get to those careers. Basically, just becoming more aware of that stuff. Not to mention, there's a lot more awareness being shown about the systems in place in general, and you're probably one of the first people who has come to that realization even. And then Saturn has been in your 8th house in Scorpio, and so Saturn has kind of been causing some sense of restriction when it comes to other people's money. And so this could be that you have accrued, I should say, that's what I meant, some amount of debt, perhaps, or maybe you've just found the need to really rely on yourself lately, and you no longer want to, or you've like becoming dependent on others has become a burden in some ways, and you just are feeling the need to kind of cut out that dependence and needing to really become more strong within yourself. And there's also probably been some subconscious feelings coming up for you about how dependent you want to be, and maybe there's been a feeling of just not feeling very good unless you are being dependent, or not dependent, but independent. So yeah, and the other thing with Saturn and Scorpio is that it's helped you to become aware of how you need to transform the parts of yourself that are fearful, because and it might have to do with that dependence, the fear of not being in control. So you've felt like you've had to become more in control, or it could even just be subconscious blocks that are holding you back that you had to become aware of so that you can move forward in your life in whatever way. And very, very much about being very strong within yourself at a very subconscious level, and not being afraid and stepping forward. That's what Saturn and Scorpio and Saturn in your 8th house is wanting you to do, is to actually become strong and then not be dependent on others, so that you're not in fear, and so that you are certain about where you're going and certain about who you are, and so that you can really move forward. And then Saturn moving into Sagittarius into your 9th house is going to be tackling all those beliefs that you're holding on to that maybe are keeping you from being more open, or it might even make you more aware of where you're being too rigid in your beliefs. But it also is solidifying the beliefs that make sense for you at this time, and helping you to be maybe just more resilient, and changing your beliefs so that you are more resilient, because Saturn can cause some depressive tendencies. And so having some kind of belief system actually might be somewhat helpful for overcoming the lesser beliefs, or the beliefs that are keeping you from really expressing your true self, or basically creating fear in your life, because there are beliefs out there that can create fear. So letting go of beliefs like that will be a big part of it, but also maintaining a sense of idealism or integrity, or even just a solid foundation of which you can expand upon. So it could even mean that you go back to school, perhaps, to help solidify some amount of your knowledge base, or like really believing in yourself is what Saturn is going to make you do eventually here, as Saturn moves through your 9th house. All right. Okay, well, that's it for this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it. I hope that these times are treating you okay, and yeah, have an awesome time.